Okay, so good afternoon to everyone. We want to explain what algorithms is all about. So basically, what is an algorithm? An algorithm is a sequence of steps that we take to logically or mathematically solve a problem. Now, before we write a program, we should write what is called an algorithm. An algorithm can only be written after we have analyzed the programming problem. So, what is a programming problem? Essentially, a programming problem or problem definition, it's also known by that term, is like a worded question you must find the answer to in mathematics. So let's say, for example, you have a mathematical question, find the average of two numbers. That is a mathematical question. It is also what we call a problem definition or a programming problem. All right, people? And these are some tips that we have to observe in order to write an algorithm. For example, when writing our algorithm, we should ask three very crucial questions. What is our inputs? What is our input or inputs? Right? An input part, this is where we gather data to solve the problem. So for example, let's consider we have to find the average of two numbers. The first thing that we need to find out, our input will be asking to enter our first number and our second number. That's our input part. Our process, what is our process? This is another, or processes. This is another question that we need to answer. In our processing part is where we perform some logical and or mathematical operation or operations. So for example, if I'm finding the average of two numbers again, I need to find the two numbers, and then my process will be to add the two numbers and then divide it by 2. All right, that's my processing part. What is our output, or what are our outputs? Basically, at this part, what we are going to do is simply print out the screen our answer. That is our output. When we do something called prompting or asking to enter data, that is what we call a prompt. That is an output statement as well. When we print out our answer or our result, that is output as well. So in our output part is where we print out our answer for the world to see. All right. There are some rules when writing algorithms. Basically, here are some tips to write an algorithm in a structured way. We use the word begin or start to commence your algorithm, and or stop to finish the algorithm. When entering data, we use words such as input or enter. For example, input name. When reading or storing data entered, we can use the word read or store. Right? Note variables are used to store data. For example, read num1. Num1 is a variable used for storing a number. Alright, so basically that's it for our input. Our process part is like this. When doing processing, a formula is used to show calculation. For example, let sum equal a plus b. This statement here shows a formula to calculate simple interest. For example, SI for simple interest is equal to principal by rate by time. That must be multiplied by each other first. That's why it is in brackets, then divide by 100. In both examples, what are the variables used? The variables, we have sum, A and B, are also variables. We have SI for simple interest, P, R, and T are all variables. In some algorithms, we have to use the if-then or something called the if-then-else statement. For example, if average is greater than 10, then you write good job. All right. This is a condition that must be tested. If this is true, then we do the then part. If it is false, we don't do anything. Watch out this second statement. If average is greater than 100, then write large. Otherwise, or else, we're going to write small. So if average is 120, we will write large. If it's 95, it will write small. Look at the next example here of the if then. If assignment is equal to complete, then bonus mark is equal to mark plus 10. So basically, we're doing a calculation. We're increasing the person mark by 10. Alright, so we will discuss this, and we have discussed this a little bit later. So that's it for algorithms. We will work one or two examples, and we will be able to add some more details to it.